Hello, I'm Peter Schmidt-Hansen, and today I'm going to be talking to you about our module, Consumer Brand Behaviour. The module is exactly that. It's about consumers and how they behave relative to brands. Why is it that one person drinks Pepsi and another one drinks Coke? Why is it that one buys Nike and another buys Adidas? Why is it that one person spends their summer holidays surfing and sailing, and yet another one will go and visit historic castles in Scotland? Why is it that one will eat meat and another one is a vegetarian? Let's take that last example and look at it in a bit more detail. The vegetarian might behave in the way that he or she does because they're worried about animal welfare. Another motivation for being vegetarian might be that they're worried about the impact that cutting down forests, growing crops so that animals can eat these crops has on the world. And yet another vegetarian might be motivated by health reasons. They might think that the vegetarian diet is a much more healthy one. So as we can see, studying people's behaviour, i.e. being vegetarian, isn't enough. We've got to get much deeper and find out what their motivations and values really are, which drives their behaviours. Beyond that, there's a more fundamental question, and that is, who are you? Indeed, who am I? This might sound trite, but it's a fact that we've got to understand who people are at any one time. At the moment, I'm Peter the lecturer. Tonight, when I go home, I'm going to be Peter the father or Peter the husband. And then on Saturday, I might be Peter the football fan, standing on the terraces, screaming with 25,000 other fans, hoping for a Norwich City football win. And then on Sunday, I might be Peter the nature lover, walking alone across the beautiful countryside of Norfolk. So we've all got multiple selves, and it's important for brands to understand that we have these multiple selves to gain a much deeper understanding of who we are and how we behave the way that we do. We've also got a public self and a private self. Some recent research suggested that people who shop online will shop very differently when they're shopping offline. For example, they might go into a supermarket and fill their trolleys or their baskets with a lot of organic produce, a lot of high value produce, a lot of ethical brands and products. And yet when they get home in the privacy of their own home and do their shopping online, they might not buy these high value items, they might go for the value choices, and they might not buy so many ethically based products. So again there we've got a question and a dilemma that's facing brands. There's a different behaviour in public from the behaviour in private. What is it that influences behaviours? I mean, if we take a very global scale, we can look at East versus West. In the East, there's a tradition of collectivism, and that collectivism manifests itself in a strong sense of belonging in a family or a society. However, in the West, we've got a more individualistic approach, which favours the individual expressing themselves through their own freedom. And that can lead to different behaviours, and certainly something like that's very significant for global brands. Another factor is age. But even here there's a problem, because there's a difference between someone's chronological age, in other words, how old they really are, and their cognitive age, how old they feel they are. For example, although I'm in my mid-50s, I actually feel as if I'm in my late 20s. I know some people who are 60 who behave more like 80, and I also know some people who are 60 who behave more like 40. So understanding people's cognitive ages is perhaps more important than understanding their chronological ages. Another factor that might be important in understanding consumer behaviour is who influences their behaviour. Is it their family? Is it their friends? Is it their colleagues at work? Is it celebrities? So you can see that this study of consumer behaviour is quite complex. In the last couple of minutes, I've asked a lot of questions. And what we're hoping to do on this module is to answer those questions. The module is going to be interactive. It's going to be a lot of fun. You've got a chance to explore some of these questions and answer them yourselves. I look forward to working with you on this unit.